Are we winning or losing?
Sir, this is a battle that is going to be going on for many years. We're still trying to get our arms around it. This is not
I'll repeat my question. Are we winning or losing?
One of these three things will happen. There will be a cyber attack, a Carrington event, a nuclear EMP, and all three of them have essentially the same effect. They bring down the grid.
You cannot sustain the population of a 21st century superpower without electricity. And unfortunately, every bad guy on the planet knows that.
Nuclear EMP is in the military plans of Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran for combined armed cyber warfare.
North Korea could hit the U.S. with an apocalyptic EMP attack.
I think the next big surprise that's going to face us is Iran.
EMP are one of many threats the electric sector must confront. A cyber attack aimed at disrupting electric service would be a relatively cheaper and easier weapon to deploy.
The private sector is on the front lines of this battle, and very few companies went into business thinking they had to defend themselves against foreign militaries.
We're not only going to be dealing with nation states, but we're going to be dealing with groups, with individuals, when we're dealing with a capability that is relatively inexpensive and so easy to acquire. That makes this really problematic.
We know Mother Nature is going to do an EMP laydown in due course.
You might have heard word of a solar flare headed our way. A big enough flare hitting Earth at the wrong spot could cripple power grids and communications.
These things happen roughly every 100 years. Well, we're about 160 years overdue. It's coming, folks.
Congress should look at EMP attacks, cyber warfare, and nuclear weapons as three great threats to our survival. We have to be able to defeat all three of those threats.
We're going in exactly the wrong direction. When the EMP Commission has already spent 17 years studying the threat, has repeatedly told Congress this is a real threat, and we know how to protect against it.
There are a lot of people doing a lot of good things at a relatively leisurely pace and trying to be reasonable. Work back from consequence, you rapidly become unreasonable because the consequences are so horrible. I gave up on trying to get institutions here in Washington to deal with this issue. I think we're living through the most dangerous period of my lifetime.
This is vastly bigger than 9/11.
The day before it happened would have been regarded as highly unlikely.
You're talking about a catastrophic event.
You take civilization back to the 1800s.
Our citizens are not prepared in this country for the low to no notice big events. If you're expecting FEMA to do it, that's not a sound plan.
If there will be no electricity for the next year, what will you do?